Hello everyone, this is BratOK giving you game 1 in a series between Root, Minigun, and BratOK here on Valhalla. Here we have BratOK spawning as the red Terran player. Meanwhile, we have Minigun, Root Minigun spawning as the teal Protoss. So this is Protoss versus Terran here on Valhalla. I have cast a couple of games on Valhalla already, so if you guys don't know much about the map, go ahead and check that out. Now, with BratOK spawning on the top left-hand side and Root Minigun spawning on the bottom left-hand side, it's going to be very, very difficult for Minigun to establish his third base here. So I'm assuming that this game will probably be decided sometime around the second off of 2 bases, just because this expansion is kind of difficult to defend. It also chokes up a lot of your units, and trying to establish this expansion, the 4th expansion, or your 4th base that's a little bit higher and a little bit further away, is also rather difficult as well. So BratOK generally lucking out on the positionings on this map, and we'll see how exactly he responds to Root Minigun here on Valhalla. Excuse me if I seem to be a little bit dazed. I just got smacked in the head by a door, so yeah, it still rings a little bit, and it's also raining outside, so I can't tell if it's the sound outside or the ringing in my ears. So anyways, let me get back to the game. And now pulling up the production tab, you can see that there is a barracks and a refinery currently being built by BratOK. Meanwhile, we already have a gateway, gateway coming in, a simulator now being warped in as well. In a little bit of time, we're going to see Root Minigun also warp in an additional pylon, and then followed by a Cybernetics core, and then the strategies will start to unfold. Even though Minigun did scout out relatively early with this probe, because he scouted in the wrong direction, it will be just now that he finds his opponent's base. Meanwhile, BratOK already knows where his opponent is. His SCV actually getting in right on time, or a little bit faster than over here. But now we have a gas block by Minigun. So Minigun blocking the gas over here, and that's going to really slow down BratOK's ability to get any serious tech. Now that means a lot of Marines should be trained, and now I believe a second barrack should be put down just in case his opponent does try to go for a 4-gate. Minigun getting a little bit of a tech advantage, and now this SCV just going to wander around on the inside for a decent amount of time, trying to see when Minigun will be getting that second assimilator. If he doesn't go for that second assimilator, he knows that there's going to be a very aggressive gateway push in just a moment, as another pylon now being warped in. So as we see Minigun now just currently getting more and more minerals, he is no longer chrono boosting his Nexus, so he is not going for a very, very high probe count any longer. And now the SCV realizes it needs to get away. The Zealot is already out. We should be getting the Stalker and Warp Gate research. No chrono boost on the Warp Gate research yet, which is a little bit surprising, as this SCV now wanders away. A Reaper now being trained. A Reaper, a very, very strong choice against the assimilator gas block. And still, one of the things I don't understand, why the assimilator has 900, essentially 900 hit points, compared to a refinery or an extractor that which both have, I believe, 500. Very, very difficult to take down. Assimilator, I guess Protoss buildings are just much more durable, but that Reaper coming in, getting a decent amount of damage, and now will be able to move around the map and try to do some scouting. There is one probe now hiding off over here, but that Reaper has a very difficult time trying to jump around. There is a lot of untraversable terrain. The Reaper will not be able to jump into here, and now just going to simply jump onto the low ground. And is he going to find that probe? He does see that probe, and the Reaper does move a little bit faster, but that probe was able to back off. There is also a factory here. So a proxy factory? Not 100% sure. No, the factory now going to move out in order to do some scouting. Meanwhile, the starport is currently being built inside the main base. We need to get a Marauder trained up. Otherwise, it's going to be very easy for any of those stalkers to just simply walk up that ramp. There is a, one Reaper over here, and now the SCV, which was able to get some sight, and now the stalker is going to quickly just come in here, poke down that one Reaper. The Reaper suiciding himself into the base, and now sees that there is at least 3 gateways. So 3 gateways now currently just sitting in here, or warp gates now, and we'll be able to warp on additional units, as there is a proxy pylon here by Minigun. We can see that a bunker is now down, and one probe quickly getting taken down here, as more Marines need to be trained up. We are going for Cloak, and we are going for Banshees, it looks like, but there is not enough gas right now, as another command center being built here, and that's going to be a definite issue. BratOK not realizing the amount of pressure and damage he's going to be pushing out as the Stalker's now coming in, Marine now coming in, the SCV not even bothering to repair, and now all the units inside, coming in to repair. Marines need to jump inside the second bunker there, and now continuing to battle it out, and will be able to hold off this attack. Nicely done, as the factory now floating around on the inside. The Stalkers may make another charge up that ramp in just a moment, but the Stalker Jack now is going to simply make another charge up that ramp, moving and attacking, and now BratOK with no SCVs nearby. That's going to take a lot of damage once again. What the bunker is doing a decent amount of repairing, and now multiple SCVs there able to hold on to that location. The Banshee is about to come into play, and it will have cloaking research, and now that the cloaking research is going to be completed, Minigun is not going to have any real way to shoot it out of the sky. He does have a robotics facility, and now trying to warp that in as quickly as possible, but he can't chrono boost it. And that Banshee is going to get a lot of serious kills in the next incoming battles. You can see that once again, Zealot trying to lead the charge. Stalkers, Marine now trying to fight back once again. It looks like this one bunker will get destroyed. Finally down to 50, 60, 6 hit points. There it goes, and now both sides are battling out, but the Banshee now in play. So the Banshee going to be able to get some quick kills there, as a new bunker needs to be placed down. A fresh Banshee will be popping out here in just a moment, and this Banshee already up to 2 kills. Going to try to continue to get even more kills, up to 3, 4 kills already, and now cloaking, going even after more drones. There are Marines here now, and now with one Banshee in the air, it will be able to hold off this attack against all the rest of those Stalkers, as those Stalkers are now getting picked apart. One Stalker at a time is falling. Double Marines now being trained out. That Banshee now down to 9 energy is going to have a little bit of an issue, as it may get poked apart in just a moment. Meanwhile, the Banshee over here trying to get as many kills as possible. There's a Stalker now down over here as well. So both sides continue to battle out. Sentries now pushing their way in, but BratOK looks like he will be able to continue this pressure, as BratOK now going even after more and more probes. The Observer is finally out, so BratOK's Banshee needs to get the heck out of there, as a command center now being established at the natural expansion. So this one Banshee now finally out of energy, trying to fly away. Stalkers move faster than a Banshee can fly, but because it doesn't have to worry about terrain, able to fly off into the corner and into the sunset. So this Banshee now is slowly going to regenerate its energy, as 2 Banshees are in the air. SCVs are on the ground as well. I believe one Marauder in that bunker would have changed the story completely, but instead he opted to go for earlier Banshees. And the Banshee tech, even after a gas block, was a very, very gutsy maneuver, but BratOK able to keep his cool and able to have it somehow work out. 2 Banshees now coming in from the north side. It looks as though not that many probes over here. One probe gonna get quickly taken down. Down it goes. More probes gonna get taken down. 1, 2, 3. 3 probes quickly taken down. 4 probes now taken down, as the Observer is in the air and the Banshee's able to back off. This Banshee still hanging around, not doing much of anything, as the Observer just staying nearby, trying to see what exactly is happening. As more Marines get trained, we are going to get Combat Shield, or Stim Pack and Combat Shield, and Marines are going to be pumped out very, very heavily. That means that those Marines are going to be very strong and effective against those Stalkers in particular, as those Stalkers are mainly there to try to counter the Banshees. The Marines, which only take 10 damage per attack and also have a very high attack rate, will be able to just mow down many Stalkers in just a moment. A probe now making its way out off to the north side of the map. Gonna quickly see a large group of Marines, and now quickly get taken down there as the SCVs are continuing to repair. So 4 fresh Banshees gonna be rebuilt as a command center here at the 12 o'clock expansion location. Minigun definitely behind now, as he only has 35 mules compared to 40 SCVs and those 2 mules in play as well. Level 1 weapons upgrade, Stim Pack, Marauders, Marines, no concussive shells yet, which is a little bit of a surprise, as there are a decent number of Marauders. Concussive shell would slow down this attack, which is now about to start. Banshees now trying to push in. He does see that there are a couple observers. The Banshees are already in position, ready to deal damage. The Marauders without concussive shell, however, will not be able to focus down those units nearly as easily. The Banshees now moving out. There is one observer in the air. The Marines did not have time to snipe it out of the sky, and now the Marines are going to quickly come in. The Banshees are getting a lot of damage onto some of those units. Both sides fighting back and forth. And now the Banshees are not cloaking at all. Marines are just simply stimming and going and dealing a lot of damage. And there you go. Root Minigun says GG. And it looks like the next game will be taking place on Xel'Naga Caverns. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Roxas' BratOK versus Root Gaming's Minigun here on Valhalla.